Good morning, students. My name is Abhay Mishra. As you all know, students, last video I had made on the conjunction, which is the topic of English grammar, and after that I had not make any video. So sorry for that. But today I am starting with science, the body and its movement. So welcome in the world of science by Abhay Mishra. Let's start the chapter, the body and its movements. Organization. In this chapter we'll discuss organism and the structure of the body, movement, human skeleton system, structure of the human skeleton, joints and movements in other animals. So we are beginning with organization and the structure of our body. All living things are made up of one or more cells. Cells in Hindi meaning koshikaएं. For this reason, cells are known as the structural unit or the building blocks of life. As you all know, the cells are the structural unit or the building blocks of life. In an organism made up of only one cell is known as unicellular. The single cell performs all the activities necessary for the life. In an organism made up of many cells, multicellular, the various life activities are performed by different groups of cells. For example, the red blood cells in our blood carry oxygen to all parts of the body, and the white blood cells of our body heals our cut, or if we are our bleeding, we can in simple language heals our bleeding. So if a person is lack of WBC meaning white blood cells, so its bleeding would not be stopped even after pressing it long time. A group of cells that performs a special job together is known as tissue. The group of cells that performs a special job together is known as tissue. Blood, bone, muscle and skin are some of the tissues in our body. For example, muscle tissues are a group of cells specialized to contract and expand for the movement of the body parts. For example, muscle tissues are a group of cells specialized to contract and expand for the movements of the body parts. In this chapter we'll also discuss about movements, so we will know about the muscle tissues in detail later. Now, tissues combine to form an organ. Tissues combine to form an organ. When the tissues meaning cell combine, they form one organ. Each organ performs some different parts of some important functions of the body. For example, the heart is an organ that pumps blood to the various parts of the body. The eye is an organ that enables you to see. Lungs are the organ that used to breathe. Kidneys, liver are some other organs which perform important roles in our body. Group of organs work together to carry out various life activities in our body. For example, the food pipe, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, anus and some other organs together help you to digest the food you eat, and this group is known as organs is called an organ system. I would like to repeat, such a group of organs is called an organ system. The group of organs that carry out digestion of food collectively form the digestive system. Some other organs in our body are circulatory, respiratory, nervous, excretory, reproductive, muscular and skeletal. You can see on the screen also organ system, their main organs and the main function. All these systems together form your body. They all work to keep you alive. Thus the human body and the bodies of all multicellular living organisms are organized as follows. First, cells. Cells combine and they form tissue. Then tissues combines and form a organ. Then organ combines and form a organ system, and when organ system is developed, then human body is developed. The main systems in the human body and their functions are given on the screen also. You can see that. Now we are going to discuss movement. You walk from one place to another by using your legs. You can also move different parts of your body. Does a bird or an earthworm move in the same way as you do? Each animal, each living organism has its own way of moving. They may walk, run, fly, jump, hop, creep, crawl, slither, swim, or moves in other ways. In last, I will give one activity to you all. So please try to do that activity. Some parts of our body can move more than others. What determines how much movement is possible for each part? This is determined by your bones and how they are joined to each other. Let's study about bones in detail. So now we are going to start the human skeletal system. The bones in your body make up a framework called skeleton. The bones in our body make up a framework called skeleton. The skeleton of an adult human being is made up of 206 bones. And one fact is that when a child born, it has 270 bones. But as she grows into an adult, many of the bones fuse together. Functions of skeleton. The skeleton has four main functions. First, to give support to our body, then protect the soft organs of our body, then help the movement possible, then making blood cells. So let us study about it in detail. Support. Your body has a number of soft organs and muscles. It is necessary to have a hard framework to support these parts. Otherwise, the body will collapse. Your skeleton provides this framework and holds you upright. If there would be no skeleton, we all will like jelly. But now protection. The bones protect the soft organs of our body. The brain is protected by skull, meaning head. The heart and lungs are protected by the thin long bones in our chest known as rib cage. Movement. Through the individual bones are hard, several of them can move at places where they are joined to other bones. That is why you can move your arms, legs, fingers and many other parts of your body. We will discuss about joints in our next topic. Making blood cells. Students, you will I would like to tell you that many of the bones in our body are hollow from inside. Bones are hard from outside, but they are soft, spongy and hollow from inside. The inside of bones contain a soft substance known as bone marrow, which produce blood cells. Bone marrow made blood cells, or we can say blood cells are made in the bone marrow. Now our next topic is structure of the human skeleton. You can also see on the screen structure of human skeleton. The human skeleton has four basic parts: the skull, the backbone or spine, the ribs and the limbs. Now we are going to study about skull, rib cage, backbone and limbs in detail. So we are starting with skull. You can see on screen also the skull. The skull is a bony structure that surrounds and protects our brain. As I have told you in the function of skeleton protection, the skull is the bony structure that surrounds and protects our brain. It contains two holes of our eyes, ears, and one hole for our nose and for mouth. The upper part is made up of 8 flat bones joined together. The skull upper part is made up of 8 flat bones which are joined together. The face and the jaw contains 14 bones. The face and the jaw meaning jabda, contains 14 bones. Your teeth are fixed to jaw bones. The lower jaw bone is the only movable bone in the skull. It enables you to chew your food and talk. In our skull, only the lower part of our jawbone is movable, which help us to chew our food and talk. Now, the backbone or spine. Backbone in Hindi meaning रीढ़ की हड्डी. You can also see on your screen. Press and move your friend's fingers along the center of the back of a friend. Can you feel a long, hard, bony structure which is not very smooth? This is only a backbone. It is not smooth because it is made up of number of small bones. The backbone consists of 33 small bones called vertebrae. The backbone consists of how many bones? 33 small bones called vertebrae. The vertebrae are joined to each other. The joints allow slight movement of the vertebrae. This is why you can bend and twist your back. The backbone is attached to the base of the skull. It forms the central supporting rod for the skeletal. Each vertebra has a hole in it. The delicate organ of our body called the spinal cord passes through these holes. Thus, the backbone protects the spinal cord. The backbone is also called the spine or the vertebral column. So, we have known the two other names of backbone, which are vertebral column and spine. And if you have any confusion in backbone, you can ask me in the comment box. Now, the rib cage. Cage meaning in Hindi pijda. So, in our body there is a cage of bones present in our chest, which protects our heart, lungs, kidneys, stomach, etc. But one thing I would like to tell you that stomach is protected by our rib cage from inside, not from outside. That is why our stomach, if we touch, it is flexible. Now, take a deep breath and feel the bones on your chest. Take a deep breath and feel the bones on your chest. Can you feel flat, curved bones? And the rib cage bones are not very straight, they are curved and connected to the backbone. In back and in front, it is connected to the breastbone. These are your ribs. The ribs are thin, flat, curved bones that form a protective cage, as I told you, around the organs in the upper part of the body. This is called rib cage. The rib cage consists of 24 bones arranged in 12 pairs. How many bones does a rib cage consist? 24 bones in 12 pairs. All of them are joined to backbone at back and breastbone in front. The last two pairs that are not joined to the breastbone are called floating ribs. You can see on the screen also. The rib cage protects the heart and the lungs. It also protects the parts of stomach from inside and the kidneys, as I had told you earlier only. You can see the rib cage on the screen also. There is a breastbone, ribs and the floating ribs. Now, the limbs, arms and legs. Nearly half of your bones are in your hands, wrist, feet and ankle. The longest bone of your body is thigh bone or femur. The longest bone in our body is femur. The long lower half of the leg has a thin shin bone and a calf bone. The lower half of the leg has a long shin bone and a calf bone. These are the two names of our bone, shin bone and calf bone. You can also see on the screen. The ankles and the feet have a number of small bones. The femur is attached to the hip bone through the hip joint. The upper arm, meaning the hand, has one long bone known as humerus. You can see on the screen. The lower arm has two long bones. The wrist and hands have several bones. The humerus is attached to the vertebral column, meaning backbone, through a collarbone which is present in between our shoulder and neck and the shoulder blade. The bone which is present in our shoulder is known as shoulder blade. Now I would like to tell you that the longest bone in our body is femur, and the short bone in our, or we can say shortest bone in our body is present in our ear, and its name is series, and it is in the size of a grain. So today we will discuss only this much. If you have any problem in these, you can ask me in your comment box. So bye bye students. I will make you understand about your doubts and clear your doubts and start the topic joints and movement in next video. So bye bye students, and please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.